Beloved, chosen one, stop scrolling for a moment. Heaven itself has paused your timeline to speak directly into your spirit. Something in the unseen realm is moving, and you can feel it. December 30 is not just another date on the calendar, it is a divine checkpoint. It is the day heaven measures who can be trusted with what has been whispered in the dark. And right now, the Spirit of God is pressing on your heart to stay silent, to protect what He's planting within you. You have talked enough about your vision. You have explained your calling to people who were never meant to understand it. Every time you tried to justify your journey, something in you felt weaker, smaller, misunderstood. But this time is different. This is the hour where your silence becomes your shield. You are not being ignored, you are being hidden. Listen carefully. Heaven's countdown has begun. The shift you feel is not anxiety, it is alignment. God is setting the stage for your unveiling. But before He reveals you, He must refine you. And refinement often feels like rejection. You are being pulled away from noise because destiny requires quiet. The distractions that once entertained you now irritate you. The conversations that used to excite you now drain you. This is not coincidence. This is divine separation. God is preparing a stage that no enemy can access. And He's saying, "Stay still, my chosen one, until I move." You are standing in a spiritual threshold. Every word, every thought, every post you make between now and December 30 carries weight. Do not speak carelessly. What you release from your mouth now can either build your next chapter or break it. The heavens are listening. The unseen realms respond to sound. And silence, when led by God, is not weakness but warfare. As the prophet Isaiah wrote in the holy book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 15, "In repentance and rest is your salvation. In quietness and trust is your strength. But you would have none of it." Those words are not simply history, they are instruction. They remind you that silence is not absence, but trust. The stillness that feels like inactivity is the soil of your coming victory. God hides His chosen before He honors them. Every hidden season has a divine purpose to fortify your discernment, strengthen your patience, and purify your motives. Do not rush this moment. Heaven does not waste silence. You are not being delayed, you are being developed. The noise of the world has one purpose: to make you doubt the whisper of God. But when you learn to rest in His silence, you gain authority in His timing. Some will ask why you've gone quiet. Let them wonder. The loudest people in this season are often the emptiest. But those who are quiet, those who carry mystery, are being prepared for sudden promotion. God is building something in you that cannot be explained in casual conversation. Remember, you are not behind. You are being positioned. Every delay has been divine. Every closed door was God's hand of mercy saying, "Not yet, because I'm still preparing the crown." When you see December 30 approaching, do not fear. Do not announce it. Guard your peace. Protect your space. And keep your words few. Heaven has assigned angels to that date, and they will only move when your obedience is sealed in silence. The world is about to witness a shift, your shift, but only those who were listening in stillness will understand it. You are one of them. You were never ordinary. You were chosen to carry what others could not bear, to endure what others could not survive, and to shine when others fade. So, as you read this, take it as confirmation you are about to win. You are standing on the edge of a divine unveiling. But before victory speaks, silence must finish its work. Heaven is aligning resources, hearts, and opportunities for you. The story that once seemed broken is about to become breathtaking. When God moves this time, you won't need to announce it. The evidence will speak louder than words. The same people who doubted you will see you rise, and they will have no explanation but grace. Chosen one, stay alert, stay humble, stay silent until heaven gives the command. This message is not random. It's a warning, a promise, and a prophecy all at once. Now, if your spirit bears witness that this word is for you, do one simple act of faith like share and subscribe, so this message reaches other chosen ones who need to hear the same divine instruction. Then go to the comments and type 777, a prophetic sign that you choose silence, alignment, and divine timing over noise, validation, and haste. Your countdown to breakthrough has already begun. You feel it deep in your spirit, don't you? That subtle stirring beneath the surface of your daily routine. The quiet vibration that tells you something sacred is forming. It's not anxiety, it's anticipation. Heaven is crafting something extraordinary in secret, and the atmosphere around you is beginning to shift. You can sense the weight of divine timing pressing against the edges of your world. The whisper before the breakthrough is not loud, it is gentle. It comes in moments of solitude, in the stillness between heartbeats. It's that sudden urge to withdraw, to disconnect, to find quiet space. The world calls it isolation, but heaven calls it incubation. When God prepares to birth destiny, He silences the noise around His chosen. You may not understand why certain doors have closed or why people have walked away. You may even question why your energy has changed, why the things that once excited you now leave you empty. It is because God is tuning your spirit to hear a new frequency. The whisper of heaven cannot compete with the volume of the crowd. You are being invited into a sacred silence where God reveals secrets that cannot be shared prematurely. Your calling is fragile right now, like an unopened bud. To expose it too soon would destroy its shape. What heaven is building inside you is not meant to be understood by everyone around you. You must learn to protect revelation the same way a mother protects her unborn child, through quiet endurance and discernment. The whisper is not meant to be broadcast, it is meant to be obeyed. What you hear in the secret place is not for public validation, it's for private alignment. You must resist the urge to explain what God is doing in you. When the breakthrough arrives, your fruit will speak louder than your words ever could. There is a reason why prophets often went into the wilderness before they spoke. It wasn't punishment, it was preparation. It was in solitude that they learned to distinguish God's whisper from their own desires. The same is true for you. Chosen one, silence is training your spiritual ears to recognize His voice among the multitude of distractions. You may be tempted to interpret heaven's quiet as abandonment, but understand this: when the teacher stops talking, it means the test has begun. You are in that sacred exam room of faith right now. God is not absent, He is observing. He is watching how you handle hiddenness, how you protect what He's promised. You may be tempted to see heaven's silence as absence, but it is not abandonment. When the teacher stops speaking, the test begins. You are standing in that sacred exam room of faith, where obedience is measured in patience, God is not far away. He is watching how you handle hiddenness and how carefully you guard His promise. As the ancient word reminds us in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 29, "The secret things belong to the Lord our God, but the things revealed belong to us and to our children forever, that we may follow all the words of this law." This verse reveals a powerful truth. Some things are meant to remain mysteries until heaven chooses to disclose them. Not every revelation is meant to be shared. Not every insight should be spoken. There is safety in restraint. The whisper of God must first mature into wisdom before it can be released as a word to others. That's why silence is not weakness, it is wisdom in disguise. You are being entrusted with divine information, and with that comes responsibility. Every chosen one must learn when to speak and when to stay silent. The discipline of withholding is as holy as the courage of proclaiming. God often reveals His plans in whispers so that only those tuned in by faith can hear. It is a filter, a test of intimacy. The closer you draw to His presence, the more you begin to discern the difference between human noise and divine direction. You begin to understand that not every opportunity is an assignment, and not every invitation is divine. Heaven does not shout its secrets, it whispers them. That's why others may miss what you see so clearly. They may dismiss your silence as uncertainty, but your quiet is a sanctuary where heaven and earth meet. So, if you feel a pull to withdraw lately, don't resist it. That's not loneliness, it's alignment. You are being called to the mountain of revelation, to stand still until the whisper becomes a word, until the word becomes a command, and until the command becomes fulfillment. Stay in that quiet space. Protect it like a treasure. The whisper you're hearing now will one day become a roar that shakes nations. But for now, let it be soft. Let it be sacred. Let it be yours and God's alone. When the time is right, heaven will make noise on your behalf. Until then, the silence around you is holy ground. There is something dangerous about speaking too soon. You may not realize it, but every word you release carries energy, direction, and permission in the spirit realm. When you talk about what God is doing before it is fully formed, you expose it to spiritual interference. The enemy listens too. He watches patterns, studies habits, and uses curiosity as a weapon against the chosen ones. You must understand this truth. Chosen one, not everyone who smiles at you is sent by heaven. Some are sent to gather information. Some are drawn not by your light, but by the warmth of it, hoping to drain it, hoping to dim it. The enemy often disguises himself as a listener, waiting for you to speak your next move so he can design a counterattack. Silence, then, becomes not just discipline, it becomes armor. It is written in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 6, "Do not give dogs what is sacred, do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet, and turn and tear you to pieces." Many of your past delays were not because you were unworthy, but because you were too open. You trusted too quickly. You explained divine timing to human logic, and in doing so, you weakened your protection. But that ends now. Heaven is teaching you the holy art of silence. When the blessing is close, the spiritual battle intensifies. You may notice strange things, people growing distant, plans falling apart, emotions rising without reason. Don't panic. It's not chaos, it's clarity. God is separating your circle, removing eavesdroppers from your destiny. The atmosphere is shifting to make room for what's coming. There is power in the unseen. When you withhold your words, you confuse the enemy. When you stay quiet, you create uncertainty in the camp of darkness. He cannot attack what he cannot identify. Every time you resist the urge to overshare, you choose divine strategy over emotional reaction. That's spiritual maturity. Chosen one. This is not about fear, it's about wisdom. You are not being told to distrust everyone, you are being trained to discern. Some people can celebrate your calling, but they cannot carry its weight. Some can pray for you, but they cannot understand the process. There are conversations that are too heavy for small minds, and God is asking you to protect what He entrusted you with. Remember, every word is a seed. What you speak either waters faith or feeds doubt. That's why heaven often goes silent before a major blessing. God doesn't want your excitement to leak out through careless conversation. He wants the miracle to mature in secret until it's strong enough to stand public scrutiny. This is the season where silence speaks louder than explanations. Those who are meant to know will discern without you saying a word. Those who are not meant to understand will only hear noise, and that's exactly how God wants it. You've been through too much to lose your reward to loose lips. You have cried, fasted, prayed, endured, and waited for too long to hand over your peace to gossip or curiosity. Protect your atmosphere. Protect your oil. Not everyone deserves access to your process. When you stop explaining yourself, you reclaim power. When you stop trying to prove your worth, you align with divine confidence. The enemy hates quiet believers because he cannot predict them. He thrives in noise, but trembles in mystery. That's why God hides His strongest warriors behind the veil of silence. There will come a time when God tells you to speak, but until then, let your silence be your signal. Heaven knows your obedience. Your quietness is not passivity, it's prophetic. It's your way of saying, God, I trust you enough to let you reveal me when the time is right. And when He does, the unveiling will be unstoppable. Every force that tried to block you will have to watch you rise without understanding how you did it. Your silence is not weakness, it's the sound of spiritual strength. Chosen one, take this moment seriously. Guard your words like treasure. Choose wisdom over validation. You are walking through a spiritual minefield where every spoken word can attract or repel warfare. Walk carefully. Speak only when heaven permits. Now, if you understand that this word is cutting straight into your spirit, write this in the comments: I choose silence. This simple phrase is more than a comment, it is a declaration. When you type it, you are aligning yourself with heaven's strategy for protection and promotion. You are saying, I refuse to leak what God is birthing in me. You are sealing your mouth so your miracle can mature. Heaven takes note when obedience is expressed in action. The unseen world recognizes prophetic declarations spoken in faith. I choose silence means you are done explaining, defending, or proving yourself. You are walking in divine restraint. This is your season to observe, to listen, to prepare. Speak when the Spirit gives utterance. And until then, stay hidden. Stay wise. Stay still. Your silence terrifies the darkness because it means you are no longer predictable. You are moving with heaven now, not emotion. And that, chosen one, is the beginning of unstoppable victory. Sometimes God hides his work so completely that even you begin to wonder if anything is happening at all. You look at your life and see only stillness, emptiness, maybe even confusion, but heaven calls that concealment protection. There is a difference between being forgotten and being hidden. Forgotten means abandoned, hidden means preserved. And you, chosen one, are being preserved for a greater unveiling. When God conceals his work, it's never because he has changed his mind about you. It's because he's shielding the process from contamination. The most powerful miracles are the ones that grow in silence. When seeds are planted, they disappear underground. They are buried, unseen, unnoticed. But even in darkness, they are alive, stretching, breaking, expanding, preparing to emerge. You are that seed. The soil that covers you is not your grave, it's your greenhouse. Everything that feels heavy, every delay that frustrates you, every door that refuses to open is not rejection, it is redirection. Heaven covers what it values most. That's why your prayers sometimes seem unanswered. That's why your path looks unclear. God is not ignoring you. He's orchestrating outcomes that require secrecy. Some blessings must be hidden to survive. You may be looking around, comparing your progress to others, wondering why they're being seen while you're being silenced. But you are not in competition, you are in consecration. You are in a sacred chapter where exposure would destroy you. God is working behind the curtain, setting the stage, aligning divine timing with divine purpose. He hides his work so no enemy can trace his blueprint. As it was written in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 1, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." That secret place is not a location, it's a posture. It's where trust replaces visibility. It's where you learn that divine covering is more valuable than public recognition, while others chase applause. Heaven is teaching you the power of anonymity. In the secret place, God becomes your shield, your strategist, and your sustainer. The truth is, many people cannot handle divine concealment. They equate silence with stagnation, so they rush ahead, trying to prove they are still progressing. But rushing only exposes what is not yet ready. When you try to reveal what God is still refining, it crumbles under pressure. What heaven conceals, earth cannot comprehend, and what earth cannot comprehend, it often attacks. That's why you must remain hidden until God himself decides to reveal you. There will be moments when you feel invisible, overlooked, even discarded. But every time you feel unseen, remind yourself that even Jesus lived most of his life in obscurity. For 30 years, the Son of God walked among men unnoticed. Then, in 3 years, he fulfilled his mission. Hidden seasons are not wasted, they are training grounds for divine acceleration. God is not just hiding you from enemies, he's hiding you from distractions, from false alliances, from the temptation to settle too soon. The longer you remain under his covering, the deeper your roots grow. Deep roots ensure that when you finally emerge, you will not be shaken by the winds of attention or the storms of opinion. This concealment is holy strategy. Heaven hides its weapons before battle. You are that weapon, chosen one. God is sharpening you in silence so that when you are released, your impact will be undeniable. So do not despise the hiddenness. Learn to honor it. Let the quietness shape you, strengthen you, and teach you discernment. The more you embrace the secret place, the more you realize that being unseen is not punishment, it's privilege. It means heaven trusts you with privacy. It means God considers you too valuable to be exposed prematurely. Every time you pray and hear nothing, remember, silence is also an answer. Every time your plans collapse, understand, delay is also protection. Heaven is moving pieces in ways your mind cannot yet grasp. The concealment is proof that something divine is under construction. The shadows you feel around you are not darkness. They are the wings of the Almighty, covering your next chapter. He is not keeping you from the spotlight to shame you. He is preparing you to carry it without burning out. When the right moment arrives, the same God who hid you will also reveal you, and when He does, you will understand why it had to take this long. You will see that nothing was random, that every quiet night, every unanswered prayer, every season of isolation was carefully woven into your unveiling. For now, stay covered, speak less, move only when heaven moves. You are not losing time, you are gaining depth. You are being refined so your glory will last, not fade. Hidden work is holy work, and the God who conceals you in this season will one day present you before kings, vindicated and radiant. Until then, rest under His shadow. The concealment is your confirmation. You have noticed it lately, the noise. Everywhere you turn, something demands your attention. Voices, opinions, endless conversations, endless scrolling. It feels like the whole world is shouting, trying to pull your focus in 1,000 directions. And yet deep inside, you hear a softer sound, the steady heartbeat of heaven whispering, "Come away, be still with me." This is not just distraction, it is spiritual warfare in disguise. The enemy cannot destroy what is destined, but he can divide attention. He knows that a distracted mind cannot discern divine timing. That is why you feel mentally tired even when you've done nothing wrong. Your spirit is under constant noise. Every notification, every argument, every opinion is designed to weaken your focus on the one who called you. Chosen one. This is not the season to feed the noise. You are being called to silence the chaos around you and protect your peace. There are things you used to watch, words you used to entertain, and people you used to follow that no longer fit where you are going. Heaven is fine-tuning your frequency so that only God's voice matters. The noise of distraction always grows louder before breakthrough, right before your elevation. Confusion comes dressed as urgency. People will suddenly need your attention. Dramas will reappear. Old emotions will resurface, all designed to pull your gaze from purpose. That's why discernment is vital now more than ever. We are reminded through the writings of James in his letter. Chapter 1, verse 19, everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. God does not compete with chaos. His voice is never desperate. It is steady. He will not shout over the distractions you allow. That is why he often calls you into solitude, away from the noise, so you can hear him clearly. Silence is not punishment, it's preparation for clarity. Sometimes you wonder why you feel detached from people you once felt close to. It is not rejection, it is redirection. Some connections were only meant for one chapter of your life. To cling to them now would distort your vision. Every voice you allow into your atmosphere shapes your perception. And in this moment, heaven is teaching you to filter carefully. If it costs you peace, it is too expensive. If it steals your focus, it's not from God. There will be moments when the Spirit says, turn it off, walk away, be quiet. Obedience in those small instructions protects the purity of your calling. The noise will always tempt you to prove yourself, to argue, to defend, but the chosen ones understand that silence can speak louder than any defense. As you learn to block out the distractions, you will notice peace returning to your thoughts. You will begin to hear whispers of direction, ideas, insights, divine nudges you had missed before. That's the beauty of quietness. It reintroduces you to the sound of heaven. There is also another kind of noise, internal noise, the restless thoughts, the fears about the future, the doubts about whether you're enough. But God says, peace, be still. You are not behind. You are right where He wants you. Trust that even in the quiet, He is moving. Sometimes silence feels strange in a world obsessed with attention, but you were never called to fit in. You were called to stand out through serenity, through calm confidence, through quiet authority. Your peace will become your testimony. And maybe, just maybe, you stumbled upon this message not by accident, but because heaven wanted to remind you of something simple yet powerful. Your peace is sacred. Guard it with everything you have. If this word resonates with you, if you can feel God confirming it in your spirit, then I want you to do something from your heart, not from pressure. Like this message, share it, and subscribe so that the next time heaven sends a word like this, it finds you quickly. It's not about numbers, it's about alignment. When you engage with what feeds your spirit, you strengthen your connection to what heaven is releasing. Every act of engagement becomes a seed. When you share, you plant hope in someone else's storm. When you subscribe, you're saying, I want to keep walking with this flow of truth. And when you like, you're simply agreeing in faith, saying, I receive this peace. Don't underestimate small gestures of faith. They are echoes in eternity. Someone might find this word because of you. Someone might rediscover peace because you obeyed the gentle nudge to share. Chosen one, let the noise fade tonight. Don't rush to respond. Don't justify your silence. Let heaven speak for you. The quieter you become, the clearer you will hear. Your focus is your fortress, and your peace is proof that God is near. You are learning the holy rhythm of rest, listening more, speaking less, and trusting deeper. And soon, when the world looks at you, they will not see stress or striving, they will see serenity. The kind of peace that can only come from someone who has learned to dwell in the stillness of God. There is something sacred about specific moments in time, dates, that heaven marks long before you ever recognize their meaning. December 30 is one of those moments. It is not coincidence that this date keeps echoing in your spirit. It is a divine appointment, a spiritual intersection where old things end and divine instructions are sealed. You may not understand why, but heaven has circled that day on your calendar long before you were even aware of it. Chosen one. Every season has a spiritual gate. There are days when heaven releases new orders, new assignments, and new alignments. December 30 is one of those gates. That is why your spirit feels both restless and expectant. You can sense something building, though you cannot explain it. Heaven is preparing to deliver instructions that will shape your next chapter. But there's one condition: you must guard your mouth. Your words have power to open or close what heaven has decreed. One careless sentence can delay divine timing. That is why the Spirit keeps whispering. Stay silent. Be still. Let me finish what I started. You are not being punished. You are being prepared to speak with authority. The ancient wisdom speaks through the book of Ecclesiastes. Chapter 3, verse 7, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak. That is why this message found you. You are not hearing this by chance. This is divine timing. Heaven is preparing you to handle the weight of new revelation. And your obedience in silence is the key that unlocks it. You cannot carry new oil in old vessels. You cannot enter new seasons with old language. The silence before December 30 is cleansing your vocabulary. It is teaching you to speak life only when commanded by the Spirit. Do not be afraid of the stillness. While you wait, heaven works. What seems like delay is actually divine choreography. Every promise you've been holding on to is being positioned for release. But you must resist the urge to explain what you don't yet understand. Let faith fill the silence. You might feel misunderstood during this time. People may accuse you of being distant, detached, or overly cautious, but they cannot comprehend the magnitude of what is forming inside you. When God is downloading destiny, human conversation becomes noise. Heaven needs your focus more than your social validation. December 30 will not simply be another date. It will be a marker. A day when spiritual alignment meets earthly obedience. Heaven will measure not your words, but your restraint. The ones who can stay silent in this season will speak with divine fire in the next. Chosen one. The reason God emphasizes silence now is because He wants to protect your manifestation from spiritual sabotage. The enemy cannot stop what God decrees, but he can distract the vessel through chatter and fear. Every unnecessary word you speak becomes a window the enemy can look through. Seal that window. Protect the plan. This is your sacred preparation period. Heaven is fine-tuning your hearing, sharpening your discernment, and refining your responses. When December 30 arrives, something will shift quietly but powerfully within you. You may not hear thunder, but your spirit will recognize a new frequency, a divine permission to move forward. You are being positioned to step into divine authority, but it must be birthed in silence. Every moment of quiet is a spiritual investment. When you hold your peace, you multiply your strength. When you resist the urge to announce, you preserve the power of your testimony. There will be a moment, soon after December 30, when doors begin to open effortlessly. Do not rush. Move with precision. Speak only when the Spirit gives you words. Every sentence will carry impact because it was formed in stillness. You are being trained to carry revelation like a king carries his crown, with composure and grace. Now, if this word stirs your spirit, if you can feel that heaven is confirming what you already knew deep within, then leave a sign of agreement in the comments. Type 888 below. This is not a random number. It is prophetic. 8 is the number of new beginnings. And by typing 888, you declare that you are entering triple alignment, new vision, new authority, new anointing. You are saying, I receive the divine instructions for this new season. I will stay silent until heaven speaks. Every time someone types that number, it becomes a sound wave in the spiritual realm, a signal that chosen ones across nations are aligning with heaven's countdown. It's not superstition, it's prophetic symbolism. You are marking yourself as one who listens when heaven whispers. So breathe deeply. The silence you're walking through is not emptiness, it's incubation. Every second of quiet between now and December 30 is divine preparation for a sudden unveiling. Hold your peace. Protect your promise. And stay ready, because heaven has already set the date. There is a holy tension that builds in the space between revelation and release. You can feel it pressing inside your spirit like a heartbeat that will not slow down. You know something is coming. Something that has been promised. Something that has been whispered to you in the night, but heaven has told you to keep your mouth shut. This is the test of stillness. It is the hardest obedience for a chosen one, not because you do not believe, but because you do. You are carrying vision that burns inside of you. It feels impossible to hide it, impossible to wait. But this is how God measures your readiness. The one who cannot handle silence cannot handle glory. Stillness is not a pause, it is preparation. Before every public miracle, there is a private moment of surrender. When God told Noah to build the ark, He did not ask him to broadcast his blueprints. When He gave Joseph a dream, He allowed betrayal to teach him discretion. Every chosen one must pass through this narrow gate of silence, where your obedience is tested not by what you say, but by what you refuse to say. As the prophet Isaiah once declared in the sacred writings, chapter 30, verse 15, "In quietness and trust is your strength, and in repentance and rest is your salvation." This verse is not about inaction, it is about mastery. Strength is born in the silence, where you learn to trust that God is working even when you are not talking. Quietness is the proof of faith. When you stop explaining yourself, heaven begins to explain you. The test of stillness will come in waves, sometimes through opportunities that seem right but are not yet appointed. Sometimes through conversations where you could defend yourself but choose not to. Sometimes through moments of isolation where you feel forgotten. Even though you are being prepared for recognition, every moment of restraint is a step toward promotion. There is power in what you do not say. The silence of obedience speaks louder in the heavens than the noise of self-justification. You are being invited into a discipline that only the mature can handle: stillness under pressure. That's where true strength is formed. You may feel as though time is slipping through your fingers. But remember, God's timing is not bound by your clock. He delays nothing that is meant for you. He only develops you to handle what He has promised. If He gave you everything now, the weight of the blessing might crush you. That is why He hides it in silence. Stillness refines character. It exposes impatience and burns away pride. It forces you to listen more deeply to the Spirit. You begin to recognize the voice of peace over the voice of panic. You stop chasing signs and start trusting presence. You begin to realize that divine timing is not slow, it is perfect. When you can stand still while everything inside you wants to move, you graduate in the school of faith. Heaven does not rush the chosen ones because crowns are not crafted in haste. Every second of waiting is sharpening your perception, polishing your heart, and preparing your spirit for what is about to arrive. You are learning that you don't need to announce preparation to prove progress. You don't have to speak for people to notice growth. Real transformation makes its own sound, the sound of calm authority that comes only from being still with God. There will be moments when silence feels heavy, when the waiting seems unbearable. But those are the moments when heaven does its best work. You may not hear activity, but angels are moving, aligning circumstances, adjusting hearts, and clearing paths you don't even know exist. Chosen one, you are not being punished with quiet. You are being trusted with timing. This stillness is proof that you are on schedule, not off track. What looks like delay to you is divine precision to God. Stay seated in peace even when you feel the urge to move. Stay grounded in faith even when nothing seems to happen. Speak only when heaven releases the word, and not a moment before. There is an anointing that can only come from silence, a glory that can only form in waiting. When this test ends, your words will carry a different weight. They will no longer be reactive. They will be creative. Your speech will become prophecy because it will be purified by patience. Heaven will trust your voice because it has first tested your silence. You are not missing out. You are being made ready. Every quiet moment, every restrained response, every act of stillness is being counted as obedience. The crown will come, and when it does, you will know it was worth every silent hour. Let peace anchor you. Let trust guide you. Let silence mature you. The stillness you endure today will become the strength you need tomorrow. There is a kind of silence that feels like absence but is really alignment. You have prayed, waited, and listened, yet heaven remains quiet. You start to wonder if your prayers are reaching anywhere at all. But what you are calling silence is actually synchronization. God's stillness is not distance, it is design. The silence of heaven mirrors the silence He is asking from you. You see, when heaven goes quiet, it is never because God has lost interest. It is because He has already spoken everything necessary for this phase of your journey. Now He watches to see what you will do with what you've already been told. Every true chosen one must face this season where the noise fades and only faith remains. The quietness of heaven is not punishment, it is proof that the test has begun. The teacher speaks before the exam, but during the test, he observes. You are not abandoned, you are being examined. And in that silence, heaven is checking your endurance, your trust, your consistency. Will you keep praying when you hear nothing back? Will you keep believing when no new confirmation arrives? And yet, in that very testing, something sacred awakens within you. The longer the silence lasts, the deeper your roots of faith grow. Heaven is not watching to condemn you, but to confirm you, to see if your love remains steadfast when applause fades, when assurance vanishes, when only trust remains. Every second of quiet endurance becomes a declaration, I still believe, even when I cannot hear. That is where real strength is born, as was spoken by the prophet Habakkuk in the Holy Writings. Chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it linger. Wait for it, it will certainly come and will not delay. That word has echoed through generations because it describes your exact moment right now. The silence between prophecy and fulfillment is where destiny is refined. God has already appointed the time for manifestation, and your job is to remain faithful in the waiting. The silence is not a void, it is the womb of promise. During this quietness, your emotions will try to fill the space that God left empty. Fear will whisper that maybe you misheard. Doubt will question your discernment. Impatience will tempt you to act on your own. But every time you resist, you prove that your faith is not based on feelings, it's anchored in conviction. You must learn to walk by revelation, not reassurance. God's silence invites you to maturity. It forces you to dig deeper into His nature, not just His voice. You start realizing that the presence of peace is proof enough that He is near. Even when He says nothing, His stillness holds strategy. Heaven's silence is strategic. If God spoke at every moment, you would rely on His words, but never develop discernment. If He kept confirming, you would chase signs instead of substance. So He steps back just enough to see if you can walk by memory, by faith, by love. Every quiet season is actually a dialogue in disguise. God is speaking through circumstances, through pauses, through your own heartbeats. Sometimes He answers not by saying yes or no, but by adjusting your desires. Silence refines your hunger until only what's eternal satisfies. You may feel as if heaven has pressed pause, but behind that pause, alignment is happening. Hearts are being softened. Resources are being positioned. Timing is being perfected. When the vision finally manifests, it will seem sudden, but nothing sudden with God is unprepared. The same silence that frustrates you is building unseen strength. Think of a seed buried underground. The farmer cannot hear it grow, yet inside the soil, life is forming. If the ground could speak, it would only sound quiet, but beneath the quiet is motion. Your life is that field. Heaven's silence is the soil, and your faith is the root breaking through. Learn to rest in the mystery. Stillness is not failure, it is faith matured. Some of the loudest moments of God's presence come wrapped in silence. Remember Elijah on the mountain. The wind roared. The earthquake shook. The fire burned, but God was not in them. Then came a gentle whisper. And Elijah knew God hides His glory in stillness, because that is where only the faithful can find Him. So if the heavens feel quiet, rejoice. It means you are trusted. God does not test those He plans to ignore. He tests those He intends to promote. The quietness you endure today is a sign that manifestation is near. Hold steady. Chosen one. Don't panic when heaven says nothing. Stay in the posture of expectancy. Keep your spirit still, your heart open, your words measured. The next move of God will arrive quietly like dawn breaking after a long night. You won't need to force it. The silence will break on its own, and when it does, you will realize that God never left. He was working the entire time, shaping you through stillness, preparing you for revelation. Trust the silence. Heaven is speaking through it. You can feel it. The air is different. Something unseen has shifted. It's as if the whole universe is holding its breath, waiting for your next move. You don't even realize how close you are to the manifestation. Chosen one. You are standing right at the edge of what you have been praying for. And heaven is whispering. Hold your position. Don't speak too soon. The breakthrough is about to break through. There are signs when destiny draws near. You start losing taste for small talk. You feel disconnected from familiar people and places. Your spirit becomes alert, sensitive to every shift. That's not moodiness, it's prophetic tension. Heaven tightens its grip around you because your next words, actions, and choices carry eternal weight. This is the moment when silence becomes warfare. You don't need to announce that you are close to victory. The spiritual realm already knows. That's why the opposition increases. Why confusion tries to cloud your peace. Why fatigue tries to sit on your shoulders. The enemy senses movement, and he's hoping noise will make you reveal your plan. But your silence is confusing him. Every time you refuse to respond, you win another unseen battle. Remember, silence does not mean nothing is happening. It means everything is aligning. You are being positioned for divine exposure. But it must happen on God's command, not yours. Heaven is saying, stay focused. I'm not late. I'm precise. As the Lord Jesus declared in the Holy Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 27, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me." That verse is not just a comfort, it's an instruction. The chosen ones move by voice, not by validation. They recognize the tone of heaven even when the world is silent. And right now, God is not asking you to perform, He is asking you to perceive. This is your confirmation you are not lost. You are led. The sudden stillness you feel is not emptiness, it is calibration. God is aligning your frequency with His, so that when He speaks, you move instantly. That is how chosen ones operate, by whisper, not by volume. But in this final stretch before breakthrough, you must guard your emotions. Because when you are this close, distractions often disguise themselves as opportunities. You may receive sudden invitations, tempting shortcuts, or flattering voices trying to pull you off your path. Resist them. You've come too far to lose focus now. Heaven has been preparing this exact alignment for months, sometimes years. Every loss, every delay, every lonely night was part of this setup. You didn't see it, but heaven was writing a script that only obedience could unlock. And now, the scene is ready. All that remains is your silence and your faith. In the spirit realm, every obedient pause is a declaration of trust. Every unspoken response tells heaven, I will wait until you say move. That's why God's presence feels so heavy around you lately. You are standing in prophetic proximity. There's something else when the moment of revelation comes. It will not require noise or explanation. God will vindicate you through results, not through reasoning. Those who doubted you will see evidence. Those who mocked you will watch in silence as favor surrounds you. Your elevation will not come with announcement. It will arrive like sunrise, quiet, steady, unstoppable. You've passed too many tests to fail this one. Stay alert. Stay silent. And most of all, stay sensitive to His voice. Every time you feel weary, whisper in your heart, God, I trust your timing. Because when you keep trusting in silence, heaven keeps building momentum. And now, chosen one, if you can feel this word burning inside you, if something in your spirit is saying, this is exactly where I am, then type these 3 words in the comments. I'm still listening. Those words are not random. They are prophetic confirmation. When you write them, you are declaring to heaven, I refuse to move by pressure. I move by presence. I will not let impatience steal what you are building in secret. Typing that phrase is not for me, it's for you. It is a symbolic act, a digital altar where you declare faith over frustration. Every time you see those words written, remember, listening is your weapon, stillness is your strength, and obedience is your strategy. You are not missing God's voice, you are learning its rhythm. The quietness around you is not distance, it's direction. Heaven has slowed everything down so that you will not miss your moment. So breathe. Stay still. Keep your ear pressed against the heart of heaven. The whisper that began your journey will soon release the instruction that fulfills it. And when it does, you will not have to guess, it will be undeniable, unstoppable, and divinely timed. Hold the silence. Hold your peace. And hold your position. You are closer than you've ever been. You've spent months, maybe even years, waiting in silence. You've endured the weight of misunderstanding, the ache of patience, and the loneliness of divine hiding. But something deep within you knows this quiet season was never empty. It was holy preparation. The time has come for what heaven planted in secrecy to begin its birth. You are stepping into the unveiling. Chosen one. What God has been forming inside you was never meant to be public too soon, like a seed beneath the soil. Your calling needed darkness to take root. People may have thought you disappeared, but heaven was simply shielding you from premature exposure. Now, the season of incubation is giving way to emergence. The world will soon witness what silence has been building. This is what happens when God births a hidden champion. Your pain becomes wisdom. Your tears become oil. Your private prayers become the foundation of public authority. Everything that tried to break you became training. You were not buried, you were planted. As the Lord Jesus taught in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 6, "But when you pray, go into your room, close the door and pray to your Father, who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you." These words are more than instruction, they are a pattern. The secret place always precedes the spotlight. Heaven honors the hidden work more than the public display. When you built in silence, you were building credibility in heaven's court. God saw every moment you chose restraint instead of reaction, prayer instead of panic, faith instead of fear. Now the reward of that hidden obedience is approaching. It will not arrive with noise or chaos, but with quiet authority. You will simply begin to notice alignment, the right people showing up, the right opportunities appearing, the right doors unlocking at the exact time. What once seemed random will now reveal divine order. You are about to step into a season where your silence speaks for you. You will not need to convince anyone of who you are or what you carry. The evidence will speak. Your peace will preach louder than your explanations. Your fruit will testify of your faithfulness. But even as you rise, remember this truth: humility is the crown that keeps elevation pure. You are not being lifted so you can boast. You are being lifted so that God's glory can shine through you. What you endured in the dark gave you the authority to carry light without arrogance. In this moment, heaven is saying, do not rush to announce it. Let the results reveal it. You don't need to shout to be seen. You only need to keep obeying, keep listening, and keep walking in integrity. What was hidden will soon be undeniable. Chosen one. The waiting season has not been wasted. Every silent battle, every lonely night, every prayer whispered through tears has been woven into this unveiling. You are stepping into divine visibility, not for attention, but for assignment. The world is about to meet what heaven already knows you are. And when this word touches you, when you sense the truth of it resonating deep in your spirit, I want you to pause and respond, not out of habit, but out of agreement. Like this message if your heart recognizes it as confirmation. Share it if you feel that someone else you love is walking through a hidden season and needs to know that silence is not punishment, but purpose. And if you haven't already, subscribe so you can continue walking with this flow of revelation. These small acts are not just engagement, they are alignment. They say to heaven, I hear you. I receive this. I want to stay connected to what you are saying. It's not about the platform, it's about the people who are being awakened by it. You are part of something divine, spreading across the world, an army of quiet warriors rising in strength and light. Every share is a seed. Someone you don't even know might find this message on their darkest day and realize that their silence is sacred. Every like becomes a signal of agreement, a spiritual yes. And every subscription is you saying, I'm not just passing through, I'm growing here. You are not following noise, you are following truth. And when truth meets faith, transformation begins. So, as you step into this next phase, walk gently but boldly. Know that heaven's eyes have been on you the entire time. You are about to see why it all had to happen the way it did. The hidden champion is about to emerge, not by striving, not by explaining, but by being exactly who God shaped you to be in silence. This is your unveiling. Stand tall in humility. Walk softly in wisdom, and let your obedience do the talking. The same God who hid you will now honor you, and the evidence of his favor will speak louder than any introduction ever could. There is a spiritual law that few understand. What is revealed too early becomes a target. Revelation without timing breeds warfare that was never meant for you. That is why God sometimes keeps your success a secret, even from you. He conceals the full measure of your blessing until you are mature enough to carry it. You are stepping into a realm where the wrong word, spoken at the wrong time, could expose you to unnecessary conflict. Heaven is training you to discern not only what to say, but when to say it. Chosen one. Discernment is not only knowing the difference between right and wrong, it's knowing the difference between good and God. Many times, what looks like opportunity is simply distraction in disguise. The spirit of exposure waits for the impatient heart. It whispers, show them now. Tell them everything. Prove who you are. But obedience whispers back, not yet. You are learning that spiritual maturity is measured by restraint. To speak prematurely is to invite warfare that is not assigned to your season. The power of timing is sacred. When you move ahead of divine order, you begin fighting battles that heaven never called you to fight. The very thing meant to bless you can become a burden if it is revealed too soon. As written in the Holy Psalms, chapter 141, verse 3, set a guard over my mouth. Lord, keep watch over the door of my lips. Those words are more than a prayer, they are protection. David understood that victory can be lost through speech. Words are spiritual keys once spoken. They open doors that cannot easily be closed. Heaven is reminding you to be careful with what you release. It is not everyone's right to know what God is doing in you. Some people seek information, not revelation. They will listen with their ears, but plan with their envy. The enemy cannot steal what he cannot hear. That is why silence remains your safest strategy. Your revelation must remain between you and God until it is strong enough to stand criticism. Remember Joseph. His dream was divine, but his timing was wrong. His eagerness to speak created warfare that delayed his destiny. Yet, even in the pit and the prison, God used the delay to deepen his discernment. By the time Joseph stood before Pharaoh, he had learned the discipline of divine discretion. You are walking through that same school of secrecy. It's not easy. You want to celebrate what God is doing. You want to share the excitement, the prophetic glimpses, the sudden breakthroughs that nobody else sees. But God says, wait, because some victories are still under construction, and construction sites are not safe for spectators. The noise of exposure would only invite inspection before completion. There is a holy satisfaction that comes when you stop needing to be understood. When you no longer rush to explain what God is shaping in silence, you gain freedom. You realize that peace is better than praise, and progress is better than proof. Even Jesus practiced secrecy. He healed people and told them not to speak of it. He withdrew from crowds even at the height of his ministry. Why? Because exposure before completion attracts opposition before anointing. Every divine calling carries weight, and the weight requires maturity to manage. You are in the phase of quiet strength. The Spirit is teaching you how to hold power without performance, revelation without explanation, and truth without exhibition. That restraint is not fear, it is focus. The greater the destiny, the stricter the discipline. Your silence now will protect your stability later. You are learning to build privately so you can withstand publicly. The voices that used to demand response no longer disturb you because you have discovered the value of peace. In this season, every withheld word is an act of warfare. Every moment of quietness is a shield against distraction. What you do not say becomes your defense. Heaven is fighting battles behind the curtain while you remain still before the audience. Chosen one, your silence is not emptiness, it is energy being preserved for purpose. God is preparing to release you into visibility, but not before your tongue is tamed by wisdom. You will not be a careless speaker, you will be a prophetic voice. One whose words carry weight because they were birthed in reverent restraint. So, let this truth settle in you. Not every revelation deserves an audience. Some mysteries are meant to remain between your spirit and your Savior. The moment you stop craving recognition, you qualify for revelation. Be patient with your process. The quieter you stay, the clearer the next instruction will be. When the appointed time arrives, heaven will command you to speak, and your single word will accomplish more than 1,000 explanations. Until then, guard your lips, guard your heart, and let silence complete its holy work within you. Every divine story has a turning point, and yours is approaching. You can sense it, a subtle pull in your spirit, a vibration that says something is closing so that something greater can begin. You are standing on sacred ground between cycles. Heaven has written the end over what once drained you, and new beginning over what now calls you forward. The transition feels strange, but it is holy. This is why your emotions are shifting without clear reason. The old you is dying quietly, while the new you is being formed. Heaven often ends chapters without warning, because if you knew how it would feel, you might resist the growth. Every chosen one must experience the moment when what once felt comfortable suddenly feels too small. That discomfort is your invitation to rise. December 30 is not just a date, it's a marker of closure. It is heaven's punctuation between what was and what will be. When you cross that line, you will not carry the same weight, the same habits, or the same fear. What once held you will lose its grip, because God has declared that the old season has expired, as revealed in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 19. See, I am doing a new thing, now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. But with new beginnings come spiritual choices. You must decide what to leave behind. Some relationships cannot cross this threshold. Some habits cannot survive in your new level of clarity. Some conversations that once entertained you will now drain you. The price of transformation is separation. Do not mourn what heaven removes. When God prunes, it is never punishment, it is promotion. He cuts away what cannot carry weight in the next season. If it left, it was no longer aligned. If it stayed silent, it was never meant to go. Every shift that hurts is also healing you. You may not understand why certain things had to end, but one day you will look back and say, if it hadn't broken, I wouldn't have been blessed. The endings you feared are making room for beginnings you prayed for. Chosen one. Heaven's new blueprint for your life requires a purified mindset. You cannot think like the wilderness and expect to walk like a warrior. The words you speak now, the atmosphere you allow, and the thoughts you entertain will shape how this next cycle unfolds. God is trusting you with renewal, but He needs your agreement. So right now, wherever you are, take a breath and let go. Let go of regret, of guilt, of fear. Those emotions have no passport into the next chapter. The grace that carried you through this last season will not be the same grace that lifts you into the next. This one is higher. It requires deeper surrender, quieter confidence, and unshakable focus. There is a sound in the heavens, a countdown of renewal. You may not hear it with your ears, but your spirit knows it's close. You are about to witness promises fulfilled that you had almost forgotten. What you thought was lost was actually being rewritten. The closing of one door is not the end of a house, it's the opening of a new room. You are moving from hidden preparation into divine positioning. The silence of the past was not wasted. It was the incubation of a future that demands your full attention. Now listen carefully. If your spirit knows that this word is for you, if you can feel that the old season is finished and a new one is rising from the ashes, then type 4,444 inches, the comments below. This is not a random number. 4 represents completion and divine establishment. When you type 4,444, you are making a prophetic declaration that what was unstable is now becoming firm, that your foundation is being restructured by heaven. You are saying, I agree with the ending. I embrace the new beginning. Typing it is more than an action, it's agreement in motion. Heaven records obedience, even in small acts. The number becomes a symbol, a reminder that you stood on sacred ground between endings and beginnings and said, Yes, Lord, I trust your timing. Every time your eyes see that number, let it remind you that nothing in your story was wasted. Every silent night, every tear, every delay, it was all preparation for this unveiling. You are being established. The shaking was not to destroy you, but to position you. The pruning was not to punish you, but to make you fruitful. And the silence was not abandonment, it was the sound of heaven resetting your life for glory. Chosen one. You will not step into the new season timidly. You will walk boldly because heaven has already gone before you. What was hidden will now bloom openly. What was delayed will now accelerate, and what was broken will now be made whole. This is the beauty of divine transition. You lose nothing that was meant for you. You only shed what no longer serves your purpose. The silence has done its work. The old chapter is finished. Step into the new with peace, confidence, and gratitude. There is always a moment before breakthrough when everything seems to shake. You may have noticed it already: misunderstandings, sudden distractions, unexpected conflicts, or emotions that rise for no reason. It feels like chaos, but it's not. It's exposure. Heaven is revealing what cannot cross into your next season. The pressure you feel is not punishment, it's purification. You are being refined for visibility. Every chosen one experiences this before elevation, just as dawn seems darkest before light. Warfare always intensifies before reward. When heaven is about to release something powerful, the enemy sends noise to steal focus. The closer you get to fulfillment, the more distractions try to disguise themselves as urgency. Stay alert. Do not mistake agitation for direction. You have already survived the silence. Now you must survive the shaking. The stillness trained your ear, but the shaking will test your endurance. Everything unstable will tremble, so that only what is built on truth remains standing. God allows this final sifting because what He's about to give you must rest on a solid foundation. The ancient text speaks through the prophet Isaiah. Chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and this is their vindication from me, declares the Lord. This promise is not poetic comfort, it's a spiritual law. No opposition can overpower divine assignment. What rises against you now is not meant to destroy, but to reveal the strength that has been formed in you. Every accusation, every disappointment, every sudden storm is working to polish your confidence in God's sovereignty. Before crowns, there are conflicts. Before peace, there is pressure. Heaven allows friction to remove the last traces of fear and pride. The enemy hopes to make you react. God hopes to make you resilient. Which side you lean toward depends on one thing: focus. If you keep your gaze on God, the shaking will not break you, it will bless you. Think of the tree that grows through storms. The wind that threatens to uproot it actually drives its roots deeper. That is you. Each gust of opposition is anchoring your faith more firmly. You are learning that the ground may move, but the promise stands. Sometimes betrayal appears in this phase. People who once cheered for you may distance themselves. Some relationships may end abruptly. It will sting, but do not chase what heaven releases. Divine elevation always reorders human connection. The hands that once held you may not be equipped to carry your next level. Love them, release them, and move forward. There will also be moments when your own mind becomes the battlefield. Old doubts will whisper, "What if you're wrong? What if you're not ready?" Those are the echoes of the past trying to find a home in your future. Silence them with truth. You are not who you were. The lessons of stillness have changed you. You are no longer reactive, you are refined. During this shaking, God will also expose your hidden strength. You will find yourself handling situations with unusual calm. Things that used to offend you will no longer touch you. You will feel peace in places where you once panicked. That's how you know the transformation is real. The warfare outside cannot override the stability inside. Remember this: the enemy attacks hardest when he no longer has access to you. If he cannot reach your faith, He will target your focus. That's why you must guard your atmosphere. Do not let small distractions steal your spiritual stamina. You have come too far to be derailed by noise. Even as things around you shake, heaven is steady. God's throne has never moved. His plan has never wavered. The same hand that hid you in the quiet now holds you through the storm. The same voice that whispered, "Wait," is now declaring, "Watch." Something greater is approaching. And this final turbulence is proof of it. When the storm settles, and it will, you will look around and realize that nothing essential was lost. The people who remain will be those anchored by truth. The dreams that survive will be the ones God Himself planted. Every unnecessary weight will have fallen away. Chosen one, the shaking is not a sign of weakness. It's evidence of strength. Only those built to last are tested at this level. You are not breaking, you are becoming. Each moment of discomfort is shaping you into someone unshakable. Someone who can stand in both silence and storm. Stay composed. Breathe deeply. This final refining is not random. It's rehearsed by heaven. When the shaking ceases, you will find yourself standing in clarity, ready for revelation. The confusion will fade. The noise will quiet. And what remains will be purity, pure faith, pure focus, pure fire. You are walking through your final proving ground. Hold steady. The storm is only heaven's way of proving that you are unmovable. When it ends, the dawn that follows will not just light your path, it will reveal the crown that's been waiting all along. There is a sound that follows every silence, the sound of fulfillment. It doesn't arrive with thunder or chaos, but with still certainty. You can sense it now. That subtle assurance within you that whispers, "It's time." The silence that once felt endless is beginning to break. Not because heaven suddenly remembered you, but because the appointed hour has arrived. Every quiet prayer, every restrained response, every patient moment has built a foundation strong enough to sustain what's about to appear. Heaven is moving without noise, revealing the results of obedience. You may not see dramatic signs at first. Instead, small alignments will start to unfold. Conversations will happen at the right moment. Opportunities will surface unexpectedly. Hearts will soften, and paths will clear. It will all seem natural, yet you will know deep inside that it's supernatural. The invisible work of God is transitioning into visible manifestation. What's happening now is not coincidence, it's culmination. The word you received months ago, the instructions you followed in faith, the patience you maintained in silence, they are merging into tangible reality. The rewards of quiet obedience always arrive gently, but their impact echoes loudly through time. The scriptures speak in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14, "The Lord will fight for you, you need only to be still." Those words describe your current atmosphere perfectly. You no longer need to strive or defend. Heaven has taken over the battle you could never win by effort. The struggle that once defined you is now beneath you. Stillness has invited divine intervention. Every enemy that mocked your patience is about to witness the fruit of your restraint. The reward of silence is clarity. When you stopped talking, heaven began working. When you stopped proving, God started performing. The noise that once surrounded your destiny has been replaced by precision. You no longer need to ask when or how, because peace has become your confirmation. There is a sweetness in this stage, the kind that only comes from surviving the storm and recognizing that it did not destroy you. You've been through fire, yet you don't smell like smoke. You've walked through confusion, yet your mind is still clear. You have learned what few ever do, that victory is not always loud. Sometimes it sounds like rest. Look closely around you. Heaven is giving signs that your waiting has not been wasted. The people who misunderstood you will begin to see the truth without you saying a word. The opportunities that once eluded you will now pursue you. You will find yourself walking into rooms you once prayed to enter, but with a calm heart instead of desperation. That's the mark of divine timing. It gives what you wanted without costing your peace. This is also the stage where gratitude becomes your greatest weapon. You will find strength not in striving but in thanksgiving. Every thank you, whispered in sincerity, multiplies the flow of grace. Heaven responds to gratitude faster than it responds to complaint. It's not that God was waiting for you to beg, it's that He was waiting for you to trust. Chosen one, everything you endured privately is now producing public evidence. The season of explanation has ended. This is the season of demonstration. The reward for silence is visibility, but not the shallow kind that seeks attention. It's divine visibility where your presence carries peace, your words carry weight, and your steps carry purpose. This revelation may come quietly, but it will settle deeply. It will dawn on you one morning that the heaviness is gone, that your heart feels lighter, that your vision is clearer. You will realize that you have crossed over not through your effort, but through grace. Heaven has lifted you while you waited. The same silence that once felt empty now feels sacred because you understand its purpose. It wasn't meant to punish, it was meant to purify. You were being emptied of fear so you could be filled with faith. Every unanswered prayer was actually a redirection towards something higher, something safer, something better. The sound of rewarded silence is peace. It is the calm assurance that you are where you're meant to be, doing what you're meant to do, guided by a hand you cannot see but can always trust. In the days ahead, you will begin to notice how everything fits, how even pain had purpose, how even loss carried lesson. The threads of your story will start weaving together in harmony, forming beauty from what once looked broken. You will understand that nothing was wasted. Not a single moment of stillness, not a single tear. And when you look back, you will see that God never failed you. He only worked quietly. Every delay was protection. Every silence was strategy. Every closed door was a redirection towards something eternal. Now rest in this truth. Heaven has completed what silence began. The noise of warfare is gone. The whisper of peace has taken its place. You have stepped out of hiding into harmony. The sound of rewarded silence is now the anthem of your life. There comes a moment when all the lessons of silence, endurance, and stillness converge, and that moment is now. You have walked through the hidden years, stood in the storms, kept quiet when everything inside you wanted to speak. And because of that obedience, heaven is ready to release you into visibility, not as a victim of your story, but as a vessel of victory. You have become what the Spirit calls a quiet warrior. The world is filled with loud voices, opinions, arguments, self-promotion, but few carry true authority. True authority does not shout, it radiates. It comes from those who have wrestled in secret and won. You are one of them. Heaven has tempered your spirit, purified your motives, and sharpened your discernment. Now, when you speak, people will feel the weight of truth because your words have been refined in silence. You are not emerging to compete. You are emerging to confirm. Every hidden hour was not wasted. It was investment. What you gained in obscurity, you will now use to bring light. This is why your presence will shift atmospheres. You are not just another voice online. You are a signal, a sound of heaven sent into a noisy world. It was written by the prophet Isaiah. Chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. That verse is your announcement, your coronation in the Spirit. The silence has ended. The hiding is complete. And heaven is saying, now shine. But notice the order, arise before shine. God lifts you first, before the world sees you. That rising has already begun inside you. Your confidence is different. Your peace is deeper. You no longer crave validation, you crave alignment. That is how chosen ones rise with dignity, with discipline, and with divine timing. Chosen one. This new chapter will not require you to force anything. What is meant for you will recognize you. The doors that once ignored you will open automatically. Opportunities will call your name because heaven has stamped approval on your assignment. What was once hard to explain will now be self-evident. The light you carry will draw those who are ready, not everyone, but the right ones. You are part of a generation of quiet warriors being awakened across the earth, people who have been hidden, humbled, and prepared. When they speak, they won't just share opinions, they will release transformation. You are not rising alone. You are rising as part of a divine movement, a chorus of voices that carry heaven's tone, gentle, wise, steady, unshakable. In this moment, if you feel this word speaking to your soul, if you know you have been trained in silence and are now ready to walk in light, then take a moment and act in faith. Like this message, not for me, but as a simple declaration that you receive your rising. Share it, not for numbers, but because someone you know is still in their quiet season and needs to be reminded that silence has purpose. And if you haven't already, subscribe not as routine, but as a way of staying connected to this stream of anointed words that strengthen your spirit. These gestures may seem small, but they create ripples. Each time you like or share, you are spreading light. Someone scrolling in despair might stop, read, and realize that they, too, are a chosen one. Your simple obedience can become their awakening. Heaven always honors what is done in love and sincerity. When you comment, let it be from your heart. Say what the message stirred in you. Share a sentence, a thought, a testimony. The comment section isn't just text, it's a meeting place for chosen ones around the world, each adding a spark to a global flame. When you write, you're not just responding, you're contributing to the collective voice of light that drowns out the noise of fear. Your engagement is more than digital, it's prophetic. It declares that you are part of something larger than a post or a video. You are part of a movement of restored voices, of hearts that once hid now shining again. Every amen, every I receive, every word typed in faith becomes an echo in eternity. As you rise, remember, humility is your crown. You shine not to be seen, but to make His glory visible. Keep your spirit gentle, your motives pure, and your focus on purpose. Influence means nothing without integrity. Let every word you speak, every message you share, and every space you enter carry peace, truth, and love. You have survived what was meant to silence you. You have passed tests that few understood. Now you carry something rare, quiet confidence, holy authority, and unshakable peace. This is your unveiling season. Heaven is not suggesting that you rise. Heaven is commanding it. So go forward gently but boldly. Let your light heal, not compete. Let your silence still speak through the grace in your actions. The quiet warrior has risen, and the world will know it not by noise, but by the peace that follows wherever you go. December 30 draws near, the day heaven has been whispering about, the day your spirit has been anticipating without fully understanding why. The atmosphere around you feels charged, almost electric. There is a quiet weight to this moment, not heavy with fear, but full of divine expectation. It's as if creation itself is pausing, watching to see how you will step into what has already been written. You are no longer waiting for permission. You are standing in fulfillment. The stillness that once surrounded you was never the absence of motion. It was divine preparation. Now, everything that was growing in secret begins to take form before your eyes. This is the unveiling. The curtain of concealment is being lifted, not by your effort, but by God's timing. The people who once wondered if you had lost your way will now see that heaven never forgot you. Every hidden day was counted. Every silent night was noted. What you carried quietly is about to speak for itself. You don't need to prove that you've changed. The evidence will appear in how peace follows you. There is something deeply spiritual about divine unveiling. It is not about attention, it is about alignment. When heaven reveals, it's because the earth is finally ready to receive. The reason your unveiling took this long is that the environment around you had to mature enough to sustain what you bring. Some blessings require not only your readiness, but the readiness of the space you are called to fill. The ancient scripture declares in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 8, verse 17, "For there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open." Those words do not carry threat, they carry promise. What God conceals in love, He reveals in perfect timing. What He hides for protection, He displays for purpose. You were hidden not to be forgotten, but to be preserved. And now, the moment of unveiling has come. You may not notice fireworks or sudden applause. Instead, you will feel a deep inner assurance, calm, steady, unshakable. That's how divine revelation arrives quietly but powerfully. Things that once confused you will begin to make sense. You will see how every detour was direction, how every delay was protection, how every no was really a redirection toward the greater yes. People will begin to recognize something different in you, though they won't be able to name it. It's the fragrance of fulfillment, the scent of someone who has walked with God through fire and silence and come out whole. Your countenance will shift. Your presence will speak. You won't have to strive to be understood anymore. The peace that covers you will testify louder than your words ever could. In this unveiling, you will also realize that not everyone is meant to witness the full measure of what God is doing. Some will celebrate, some will question, and some will fade quietly from your life. Do not mourn that. Revelation always separates. The unveiling of light exposes shadows. Those who are meant to walk with you into the new chapter will be drawn closer by divine gravity. the rest will be gently released. Do not be surprised if new responsibilities arrive with this season. Visibility comes with weight, but unlike the old pressure that drained you, this weight will feel different. It will feel sacred. It will pull you deeper into purpose, not farther from peace. You will discover that grace multiplies under exposure when the heart remains humble. Chosen one, you have crossed a spiritual threshold. The silence was your test. The unveiling is your reward. This is the phase where manifestation begins quietly and grows steadily. You will not need to chase it. It will find you. What was once hidden potential will now operate as living proof. Every lesson from the silent years will guide you as you walk into this new clarity. You may even feel an unusual gratitude rise inside you, gratitude for the nights you thought were wasted, for the prayers that seemed unanswered, for the seasons of waiting that once broke your heart. You will realize those were not delays, they were divine rehearsals for the rhythm you now carry. Heaven's unveiling always carries this paradox. It feels both sudden and inevitable. You will stand in awe and yet recognize that, deep down, your spirit always knew this moment would come. The same peace that sustained you in hiding will now crown you in light. So walk softly into the unveiling. Do not rush. Do not explain. Do not compare. Simply stand, breathe, and allow God to reveal what He's been crafting through your silence. Every tear, every restraint, every test now converges into testimony. The story that once felt fragmented will now unfold in harmony. The world will see, but more importantly, you will see how faithful heaven has been, how worth it the waiting was, how necessary the stillness proved to be. This unveiling is not a climax, it's a continuation of grace. The same God who hid you still holds you. The same hand that covered you now carries you. Your unveiling has begun. And as you step forward, remember, there is no rush. The light that now rests upon you was prepared by eternity itself. All you need to do is walk in it. This is the moment heaven has been leading you toward, the unveiling of strength, the confirmation of endurance, the quiet coronation of one who refused to quit. The journey has not been simple. It has required silence when you wanted to shout, patience when you wanted to act, and faith when nothing made sense. But through it all, you never stopped believing. And now, heaven calls you crowned and unshakable. Every season of silence, every tear that fell unseen, every time you chose obedience over opinion, it has built something eternal inside you. You may not notice it, but your spirit has changed shape. You are not fragile anymore. The same fire that once threatened to consume you has now refined you into gold. You have become the kind of strength that does not need to prove itself, because peace is proof enough. The holy words written in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8, echo like a trumpet over your life. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. That crown is not made of metal or jewels, it is made of endurance, integrity, and unwavering faith. It is invisible to the world, but radiant in the spirit. You wear it every time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, truth over convenience, faith over fear. Heaven has marked you as one who endured, one who believed when it would have been easier to doubt. Look back for a moment, not with regret, but with revelation. Every delay that frustrated you was actually a divine detour. Every silence you endured was training your ear to hear heaven's frequency. Every closed door was protection in disguise. You see now that nothing was random. Each chapter of pain was preparation. Each ending was the beginning of something purer, stronger, higher. You have walked through the valley of hiddenness and climbed the hill of hope. You have wrestled with uncertainty and found peace in surrender. What was once confusion has become clarity. What was once weakness has become wisdom. You carry now the calm authority of someone who has seen God's faithfulness up close. This is why your presence carries weight. You do not need to announce your transformation. The atmosphere shifts when you enter a room because peace walks with you. You have become a vessel of stillness in a world addicted to noise. Your silence is no longer restraint, it is revelation. You know now that power is not in the volume of words, but in the purity of spirit. The mantle you wear is heavy with meaning. It carries the fragrance of endurance and the authority of survival. You were never meant to blend in. And now you finally understand why. God set you apart, not to isolate you, but to identify you. You are one of His chosen carriers of light, a living testimony that hidden seasons do not destroy destiny, they define it. As you stand in this completion, there is a peace that cannot be explained. The striving has ceased. The waiting has ended. The noise has fallen away. What remains is stillness holy. Powerful stillness. You are no longer reaching outward for confirmation. You are resting inward in conviction. You no longer ask, "When will it happen?" because it is happening. Every breath you take now resounds with fulfillment. Your story, once filled with pauses and uncertainty, has become a melody of grace. The rhythm of waiting has turned into the song of victory. Heaven's timeline has caught up with your faith, and the result is harmony between promise and manifestation. You have learned that being chosen was never about status, it was about stewardship. It meant being trusted with silence, endurance, and truth. It meant walking through seasons where few understood you, so that when the light finally came, you would carry it with humility. You have proven faithful in obscurity, and that faithfulness has become your crown. Chosen one, this is not the end, it is the unveiling of a new beginning. You have completed one cycle of becoming and are stepping into another of reigning. But your reign will not look like the world's version of power. It will look like peace that cannot be shaken, wisdom that cannot be manipulated, and love that cannot be broken. The light that rests upon you now is not for display, it is for direction. Wherever you go, people will find clarity simply by being near you. You are no longer chasing favor, you have become the evidence of it. So stand tall in quiet confidence, walk softly in gratitude, carry your crown with grace, for it was forged in fire and refined in stillness. Let every step remind you that you are living proof of divine timing. You are the song that silence wrote, the answer that waiting produced, the beauty that obedience built. Heaven calls you unshakable, and earth will soon echo the same. The silence has served its purpose. The waiting has reached its completion. And now, the crown sits firmly upon your spirit, unseen by many, but undeniable in heaven's eyes. Chosen one, take a breath. You've reached the end of this message, but not the end of your journey. Everything written before this moment, the silence, the struggle, the refinement has brought you here. You have walked through 17 chapters of awakening, each one peeling back another layer of truth. And now, heaven wants to seal it in your heart. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared. This message found you for a reason. It's not coincidence, it's confirmation. You were drawn here because your spirit recognizes its own reflection in these words. What you've endured was never wasted. It was holy ground. Heaven hid you, shaped you, and now releases you to walk boldly in your calling. But as you step forward, remember, light multiplies when shared. Every time you like this message, you affirm that you've heard heaven clearly. Every share becomes a ripple that may reach someone on the verge of giving up. Someone who needs to know that silence is not the end, but the beginning. And when you subscribe, you're not following a channel, you're joining a circle of chosen ones who walk in truth and light together. If any part of this message touched your heart, let it speak back through your comment. Write what you felt, even if it's only a few words. Maybe it's, I receive this. Maybe it's, this was for me. Or maybe it's a simple, thank you, God. Your comment is not just feedback, it's your testimony written in the open. Someone else scrolling will see your words and realize they're not alone. These small actions, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, may look ordinary, but they are prophetic echoes of unity. They say, I'm part of what heaven is doing. And when chosen ones unite, heaven amplifies their impact. So as you leave this space today, go with peace. Carry the stillness that shaped you, the strength that silence taught you, and the confidence that destiny has already begun. The story isn't ending, it's expanding. Your crown is invisible, but it is real. Your light is rising, and the world is about to see it.